look at the hair. Honey, I thought you said I looked alright.
You're worse than a girl. Hi, everybody. Well, honey, go brush your hair. You just worked out. He just came back from the gym, so that's why I said he looked just fine. Say hello.
Hello.
Tell us if you're there.
I'm here.
No, not you, you silly goose.
Oh.
Silly goose. Silly goose, silly goose. We've just got a few on, so we'll give it a couple. Well, it's only 5:58, so
It's only 5:58.
We'll give it a couple minutes. But do say hello if you're out there. We'd love to just know who's on.
Hello. Ain't that a song? By Lionel?
There's and by Adele.
Adele.
Hello.
We should have played their music.
Well,
is there anybody out there? Where's that from?
That's a different song. That's actually Comfortably Numb.
Comfortably Numb? That's the name of a group?
I think so. Or no, it's the name of a song.
Huh.
Except it says, is there anybody in there?
Alrighty. There's Lacey.
Hey, Lacey.
Right,
welcome.
There's one.
Well, it shows there's more than that, but
well, one's
let's
better
wait and
than
see.
none.
No, hey, we're all good. There's Wendy. Hi.
Oh, there's Wendy.
Hello. Just say hello if you are on the line.
All right.
We want to know who all's out there. Hopefully we'll get a few new team members joining us, since that's kind of what this is going to be about new team members and what to do and all that good stuff. Slackers, right? I'm with you, Lacey. Slackers. That's funny. Let's see, how much of a delay is there? Hi, Kim from Virginia. Kim from Virginia. Glad to have you. Hi, Julia.
Julia White.
She's working on a graphic for an online party.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You go, girl. Good stuff. Good stuff. We do need some music.
Can you sing?
No.
What?
No. You can no. Never mind. I see you could whistle, but no. All right.
I offered.
Yes, you did. Thank you for offering. So, I know it's still really, really cold in the rest of the country, but y'all, it was so beautiful today. What was it, 78 degrees? It was beautiful.
It was pretty warm.
Oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I feel for those of you that live in those cold climates. Of course, you may like it like that. You know, you have longer winters and more seasons and all that good stuff. So I guess there's an up and a down, but I'm such a warm-natured kind of person. I love the warmth and the sun, and immediately today when I walked outside, I was like, ooh, boat season.
Ooh.
Right around the corner.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
That's what you were thinking?
That's what I was thinking.
I'm thinking it's going to be hot at the Deer Lease.
No, we're not going back to the Deer Lease right away.
We need to.
Okay, you go.
Yeah.
I'll do a party. How about that?
All right, you do a party. All right, 6:01.
All right, it's 6:01. So, I don't know, maybe we won't have a big crowd tonight, but that's all right. In New York this morning, we had freezing rain on top of an inch or so of snow, and it's 50 degrees. Oh, I'm sorry, Lacey. That's just cold. You know, we loved being up in Salt Lake and Park City. Kim asked where we're located. We are in Tomball, Texas, so we are not far from Houston. But, yeah, we went and visited that cold climate, and, man, having to bundle up every single time you just even want to step outside. I could see where, my sister lives in Montana. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how y'all do it. So, but anyway, I have utmost respect.
Well, they don't spend a lot of time outside.
Well, probably not. Probably not.
Your car's in a garage.
Yeah.
So you get in it, you drive to the store, and then you run to the store.
Well, now they have these really cool, hey, Kelsey. They have these really cool driveways. Well, maybe they've had them forever, but we just learned about them. The driveways that can be heated. How cool is that? And then, of course, you got the people plowing the streets and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, good stuff. So, we'll go ahead and get started. And, you know, anybody that doesn't get on this, if you've got team members that are new, 50 felt awesome today. Yeah, 50's not too cold, I suppose, especially if you're up in the north. But if you are a new consultant, then welcome. And if you have new team members on your team, tell them they can watch this back. If you find any value in it, by all means, they can certainly watch it back. We pay to keep these saved so that people can go back and watch them. So you're welcome to do that. So Amy says she's trying to get on. I'm sorry, you're having some technical difficulties there, but so we had that special, the kit special, and we had, well, just read it to them. They can't read my writing. And I don't want them to see the bottom because that's a challenge I'm going to be doing.
Oh.
So we had.
You see the challenge? Isn't this cool little paper she's got?
I got
Pink
that.
zebra on top and cartons of sprinkles on the bottom, and then some kind of note thing she's got right there.
I have. There she goes. Amy's here. Yay. So I got these from
Okay.
Town and Country. Look.
Neat.
It's a whole pad of paper you can order from Town and Country. Isn't that cute? They send you like 4 or 5 in a pack or something. Anyway,
1,500. Okay, let me start this over. 1,519 new consultants in the 72-hour period.
in a 72-hour time period when we had the kit discount. Now we
Yep.
still have the $10 off for the rest of the month, but 1,509. Yeah, that is our
1,519.
1,519.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,519. Now I see why you did that. 'Cause
Well,
it's not
yeah.
like, well, but yeah, that's huge. I mean, that's record setting for this company. So that's huge.
Yep.
That is huge.
Yes, it is.
So that's why we thought we would focus tonight on being a new consultant, or what do you teach your new team members as they join? And what's really cool, it's, I was kind of going back and looking at some of my notes in the past about what to do and all that good stuff, but our back office, our ZebraNet, Lacey says, awesome job, everybody. I know, right? It's just crazy. But our back office, every time we have new things come out, they put the good stuff.
Thank you, Lacey.
Don't forget our Zebros. Yeah, that's right. But they put the things that are helpful in ZebraNet, which is so great. So, as I'm going through my list, I'm like, oh my gosh, most of this stuff is in ZebraNet. It's in our back office. In fact, almost all of it, I think you can find it somewhere. So, when you have a new consultant, I don't know what everybody does right at first. When they first get a new consultant. But the first thing, obviously, you want to, hey, Emily, the first thing you want to do, obviously, is welcome them to the team. I welcome them both with Facebook, but I also welcome them in an email. I just click on the little email that I get, click on that link and send them a direct email, and I give them just a few pointers on, what I think they should do. Now, there's a couple of people that joined this last weekend and we were out of town, so I didn't send that email, but I've been posting it in our personally sponsored group, some different things. But you want to welcome them. You want to make sure they understand if you have time frames that you're available to talk or whatever. I mean, we pretty much if I'm awake and you want to talk to me, I'm going to be available to talk to you. So, I mean, I pretty much leave it open, but you definitely want to welcome them first, obviously. That's kind of a big thing. I say that. There are people that don't welcome, and nobody in this group, obviously, but there are people that don't even think to welcome their new consultants. They just kind of, maybe take for granted that they've got them. I don't know about that, but I have heard that before, that, people say, well, I didn't hear from my consultant or my sponsor or whatnot. So just welcome them. Make sure they know that you're going to add them to the groups. You guys are really, really good, obviously, because that's how you found out about the live stream, but you're really good at adding people to the groups. Hey, Kelsey, welcome. So, adding them to the groups is important. Give them, my biggest thing with people is to make sure they feel a connection, and make sure they feel connected to everybody, whether it's, I mean, to yourself, obviously, but also to your other team members, because people, feed off of each other. And when there's a connection, I mean, we've talked about that. I think
we have a connection.
We have a connection. Right, we do. That's why you stay in the business. No, I'm kidding. But you definitely want your people to feel a connection. When they make friends, they tend to stay around and not give up and ask questions and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's
I mean, if you got a new team member close to your house, I mean, go have lunch with them,
right.
or invite them over, and then just become friends, because that'll boost their enthusiasm.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when they hit a slump, they're not just going to be so quick to say, "Oh, I don't want to do this anymore."
Right, exactly.
They're going to reach out and all that kind of stuff. So
Yep.
Being connected, I think, is a huge, huge thing, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. But definitely point them towards ZebraNet and talk to them about the quick start. That quick start truly, truly, truly is the first thing that will get them. It'll give them a jump start in their business. And so it's vital. It's very important. It also gives them the opportunity to earn free product so that they can, or pink dollars, so that they can turn around and get free product. They can either sell it or they can keep it for themselves, whatever they want to do. But it's real important, because if you're going to get your quick start, more than likely you are having a launch party. So the quick start just kind of sets the stage for everything. So if you really kind of get into the quick start with them and share that with them and show them how, even though we can't see it after we've been a consultant for a certain amount of time, we can't see the back office anymore that says 30, 60, 90 and kind of gives them the update, but we can tell them what to look for. And again, ZebraNet has this information. It's all right there. It will talk to them about the quick start. It gives the form. Hang on, did I print that out? I don't know if I did or not. No, I didn't print out the quick start form. But it's, it's so easy. So just talk to them about the quick start and the ZebraNet and going into the back office and learning about that. Hey, Desiree. The other thing, and I know Desiree mentioned this even today on, I think it was our leaders page, and somebody said, what is the top thing that you go over with your new consultants? And everybody said quick start, which is absolutely, I agree. But Desiree had a really good point, and she said, get to know your products and the catalog, and that is vital, because if you don't feel confident in what you're presenting to people, you're going to be less likely to talk about it. I mean, you've got to know about your catalog. You've got to know about the products. And luckily, once again, I mean, you've got the catalog, you've got the online catalog, and then you've got facts, FAQs, under resources in the back office. So, there are people that love to know how many hours a candle burns or how many scoops whatever takes. And I mean, that kind of stuff, I never set out to memorize any of that. But do know about your products. You'll be able to sell them with much more enthusiasm if you know what you're talking about, obviously. And the one thing that when I say this all the time, so forgive me if I'm repeating for anybody who has already heard this, but when I first joined and I just wanted the discount, I fell in love with the products, so I was using them. And hey, Kara. And so because I was using them, I got excited about it, and I would tell people, "Oh my gosh, you have got to smell this candle that I am burning right now, or this thing I have in my simmer pot right now. I just was able to take these two fragrances and mix them together, and they smell so good." And then my friends or my colleagues or whoever it was I was talking to were like, "What are you talking about?" And so just like a good restaurant or a great new shopping place that you found, if you're passionate about it and you love it, you're just going to share it. So if you're using the products and you, explore and just use them yourself, you'll be able to share your enthusiasm. So it won't be a sales thing. It won't be anything like that. It'll just be coming from your heart because you're excited about it, right?
Right.
Yes. So anyway, talk to them about the quick start for sure. Talk to them about getting to know the catalog, getting to know the items. Now, obviously, when they first join, they don't have their kit yet, but that's not a deterrent. I mean, they tell them to go ahead. I mean, they can tell by looking at posts they can tell by, if they've ever, what?
Scotty's home.
Oh. If they've ever bought from you or anybody else for that matter, and they are familiar with the product, they don't need to wait for their kit. They can start sharing that right away. So I recommend that for sure. Just go ahead and start talking about it. I had Lori Finkenbeiner was my very first person that signed up. I think Kendra was right after her, but Lori signed up just because I was so excited about everything that smelled so good, and I didn't even have my kit yet. I had just smelled them at the home office that day. So anyway, yeah, know your stuff. I love that. And Desiree's absolutely right. You want to know your catalog and know your products. So let's see, what else? And you can talk to them in more detail. I'm not going to go into like detail on the quick start or anything like that. It's all in the back office. I mean, like I said today, I'm going through there going, man, I mean, I know we've always had a lot of this stuff, but they've really gotten detailed on all of it. The whole quick start brochure is back there. It explains exactly what they get. You know, tell your new consultant team member that, you know, if you have a question about it and you don't understand something about the quick start, here's my phone number. Text me, call me, whatever. Message me, talk about it on Facebook. Reach out to me, to anybody. But, you know, definitely read through the back office. And then if you don't get it, then absolutely reach out, because it's worthwhile to get that going. Because what happens is you want to go ahead and set up your launch party. As soon as you have joined and you're reading in and digging into all this stuff, you want to set up a launch party. You can guesstimate that you're going to get your kit within 7 to 10 days. You're probably going to get it a lot sooner, but to be safe, 7 to 10 days. So go ahead and plan that first launch party 7 to 10 days out, maybe 10. And let's say you plan the first one on a Thursday night at 6 o'clock. And then you invite everybody that you can think of. And don't do a blast on Facebook inviting all your friends. You want to send messages and talk to your friends and maybe talk to your neighbors and actually truly invite people to come. And as soon as they say, oh, I would love to, but I can't because I have something going on, you can say, oh, well, that's fine, because on Saturday morning I'm having another get-together for anybody who can't make it Thursday night. So go ahead and schedule two.
Oh, wow, that's tricking them.
Well, it's not tricking them.
That sounds like tricking.
That is not tricking.
Now I have to make an excuse for Saturday.
That's the whole point. They shouldn't make an excuse.
Saturday I'm going out of town.
Okay, well, then I'm
Thursday,
sorry you're
I
going to
have
miss
dinner
it, but let
plans.
me give you a catalog.
All right,
Okay?
there you go.
If they don't want to come, they're going to let you know they don't want to come.
Yeah.
But it's always nice to have two options, because maybe they really can't be there on a Thursday night. And it's not tricking them at all.
It sounds like tricking.
It is not tricking. Guys, come on. Is that tricking them? That is
Yeah.
not tricking them. That's just being clever. And
Yeah.
you're going to have
If
two
they can't
launch
make it
parties.
then, we'll say, well, good, because Tuesday we're having another get-together.
Well, if you want to do that, you can. But that's a lot, so.
Eventually they're going to come over.
Eventually, hopefully they will, because they're missing out if they don't, right?
Right.
Ugh, I knew you were going to give me a challenge.
Yeah.
It's not tricking. See,
Just-
Lacey says no.
Just tell them to come over. Just come over whenever you get a chance.
Well,
We'll
yeah.
have a party.
If they're
Just
local.
come over, we'll open some wine, and we'll have a party, and you can check out all my stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Offering options is great. Thank you, Lacey, for your support. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, you should do that. You should always schedule two. And if you want to be upfront with them at first and say, I'm inviting you to Thursday and Saturday, which one you come to, fine.
All
Do
right.
it that way. But I would do it the other way, because I think it's
So
more
this
clever.
launch party, you invite your family
The
and
launch
friends.
party, yeah. Okay, so that's another thing
This
you
way,
want.
it's practice, trial run. You're not throwing
Sometimes you need
strangers.
to be a little tricky, Desiree says, right? Exactly. Yeah, because people will come up with all kinds of excuses, and if you give them enough options, they run out of excuses. So,
Mhm.
so you, as a new team member or with your new team member, you talk about the Frank list, the friends, the relatives. You talk about all of that and tell them to keep a list of every single person they can think of. And the friends and the relatives and friends, relatives, associates, neighbors, kids, friends, parents, whatever. It kind of gives you that just as something to go by. But I mean, if you're friends with your hairdresser or your nail technician, or maybe your your dentist or the assistant that works in your dentist office, anybody that you can think of, you make a list of everybody, so that you can, those are the people that you're going to want to target as you get out there. Maybe not for the launch party necessarily, but on down the road, So yeah, we were at rally, and we were talking about obstacles, and one of the gals was saying how she can't, she's always doing stuff around her kids, and she just doesn't have time to do anything for her business. And so I said, well, are your kids involved in any organizations, or do they go to school? And she goes, well, yeah, my son is in Little League or whatever it was, and yeah, they're in school. And I said, well, okay, so bring your catalog to the Little League game. I mean, you're not going to push it on them, but you'd be looking through that catalog or say, whatever. I mean, somehow the conversation's going to come up. What's that? What are you looking at?
Well, wear your pink zebra shirt.
Wear your pink zebra shirt, yeah. When you go to the school.
And have catalogs. So, because once the first lady says, hey, what is that?
Yeah.
There's going to be a crowd.
Exactly. Everybody's going to go, what is that? What are y'all doing?
Then one of them's going to say, hey, come look at this. And it's just going to snowball after that.
Exactly. Kara says it's a smart sales technique. See?
Smart sales technique.
Party on the bleachers, right? That's what we were telling her. We're like, oh my gosh, you have so many wonderful opportunities. And you're sitting right there with other moms that maybe they want to be stay-at-home moms. Maybe they are, but maybe they just want to be. And, maybe there's an opportunity for business right there. And it was like the light bulb went off, and she was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I guess you're right. So, that's why you want to tell them about the Frank list, and you want to make sure that they understand to list out every person they can think of. And all the organizations that people are involved in. I mean, those are all opportunities to talk about and share the business with them. You're not going to go into it thinking, okay, well, I'm going to get a bunch of this and that, but just share. That's all you're doing is sharing. Hi, Paula.
Hi, Paula. You know what?
What?
We need to do a fundraiser.
Yes, I know.
We haven't done one. And that will, fundraisers, you have kids working your business for you. Because they're going to.
I know, I said that was a goal for this year. I'm still, it is a goal for this year, and I absolutely agree with you. And
an awesome way.
Right now is actually the perfect time. Gypsy even had mentioned it the other day. That's how I built my entire business. See? There, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So, okay, anyway, back to the new consultants and what to share with them, and those of you that are on the call. In fact, if you are a new consultant, maybe just say, me, just so we know who all is new on here. And if you have questions along the way, don't hesitate to ask. Hey, Larissa.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey. Hey.
Hey.
So, but yeah, don't hesitate to ask, because we definitely want to make sure, that we're covering anything that might be helpful for you guys. So, okay, so we've got, first of all, welcoming them. That's an easy one, right? Hi, Brandy. Welcome.
Hi, Brandy.
Talk to them about ZebraNet. Let them know that to go back there, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Talk to them about the Quick Start. Quick Start is so important, and it'll get them off on a good footing. And it'll get them some free stuff. So that's so important. And when they're doing their Quick Start, mention to them about sponsoring, because, in their first 90 days, the sponsoring, that's a plus too. So you definitely want to do that.
Kim Taylor joined at the rally.
Oh, cool. Very good. So you are new. Welcome. Very, very cool. Well, because that was January's
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm already in April. So, okay, Quick Start. And then the Frank list and setting a launch party. So those are some of the basics. First things that they want to do, because that's really going to get them geared towards starting their business. The hardest thing, when I first joined, I remember thinking, wow, this is a little overwhelming. So I kind of put the business, in fact, I wasn't even really thinking business. So I literally put the business on the back burner. And it wasn't until people started asking me questions that I couldn't answer about the business side of it that made me start looking into it. And then, of course, once I got that first check for $41, whatever it was, then I started thinking, I need to look into this a little bit more. So if you can get them, because it may be overwhelming. I mean, Kim, tell us, when you joined at Rally and you came back, was it overwhelming when you looked in the back office and saw everything? Because it might be overwhelming for people. And if that's the case, give them some directions, you know, give them some things to focus on right at first. And those are some things that I would definitely say. You also, you know, as you go along and you're talking to them, you want to talk to them about setting up their business page on Facebook. Talk about social media a little bit. Talk about how important it is to, you know, set that up and to be sharing on Facebook or social media as well. Because, I mean, social media is a huge avenue for our business these days, as you all know, that have been doing this for any amount of time. You know, there's a few rules that go along with that, making sure that independent consultant is in your title. Yes, it is. Kim says it is overwhelming, right? So yeah, if you just have some things to focus on, that helps, I think. Just like, okay, well, let's set your launch date and let's do this. But anyway, so setting up the Facebook page, you know, just making sure you're following, and all of the guidelines are going to be in the back office as well, right? A couple of things that I recommend to new members is to, I always make sure to tell consultants about the monthly fee. Yeah, that's a good point. I send that out in a newsletter, or not a newsletter, but an email. But yes, it is helpful to tell them that, because if they didn't read the, you know, the stuff that they have to sign off on, if they don't read that and they don't see that, then that kind of comes as a surprise to them. So that's a good point too, Lacey. But with the Facebook, the couple of things that I do to share with people is I recommend that you make your Facebook profile picture for your business a picture of yourself. It can be you with product or whatever, but I do recommend a picture of yourself because people like to know who they're dealing with. They like to see who they're dealing with. So I do recommend that they make it personal, and I recommend that they do it consistently. You know, be interesting if they can be personable, you know, just those kind of things, and to do it consistently. You don't have to do it 5 times a day, but at least maybe once a day. At least post something once a day. If you've got some product, when you first get your kit, take a picture or a video of yourself opening the kit. I mean, that's a great thing to do, and then you can share that on your Facebook page. So, you know, make it personable and about you and your business, but also maybe about other things, your family, or maybe tips on, you know, how to trim a wick, or, you know, how to make a candle, or whatever. But being consistent, this was funny. So today, Drew and I go to the grocery store. Our son, he's 21. Okay. He's in school and he is a streamer. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It was new to us, but it is all about being online and kind of like Livestream, but he's doing video games. So there's the video games that he's playing, and then he's got himself in the corner where other people come on to this website called Twitch, and they watch him game, basically. And believe it or not, people make money doing that, okay? And they build a fan base, and then the fan base wants to keep them on because they do it certain hours and blah blah blah. Well, Drew said to me today that we were the example of being consistent. He said, I've been doing it for almost a month now, and he's tripled or quadrupled his fan base. And he said, but I'm determined to be consistent about it because that's what I've seen you guys do with your business. And that's why I know I'll be successful, because I'm going to be consistent. And I thought, I know, right? So consistency pays off. So if you're going to do something, be consistent about it. I say that all the time, you know, be consistent, be consistent. We're always consistent. We don't, I mean, you know, we may take a little bit of time off and go do our thing, but you'll probably still see me posting on my business page or trying to post on Peeps, or I may have somebody step in and make sure that I'm not missing anything. But I know, right, Amy? Yay, Drew. So yeah, it's funny what our kids watch when we don't realize they're really paying attention. But yeah, he said, you know, y'all been real consistent. You're always doing stuff, posting every day about your business, and I saw that. So he has been working. He does from 5 to midnight, 8 to 9 hours a day, every day. Now he'll take one day off a week. Like this week, we're going to go do some charity stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's great. Anyway, just that kind of got sidetracked there, but I thought that was really cool. So be consistent and try to be interesting and be personable, right? Make sure that you do instruct them on how to go into their back office and, well, obviously they know how to go in through the back office, but make sure they go under the account and put in their credit card information and put in their direct deposit information so that they can get paid, right, on commissions if they're not collecting it up front. So, you know, you want it, those are, you know, some additional things. Again, this is all listed in the back office. It's all listed under resources. If you go to new consultant under resources, there is like boom, 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 all the way down. It's awesome. I didn't realize there was that much stuff. So anyway, it's good. Talk to them about business cards. You know, some people, maybe they can't afford business cards right now and they haven't really set aside money to spend on their business. So, you know, they can always print it right out from their computer if they want to. That's not a problem. Or they can go into ZebraNet under resources and go to Town and Country and they can order them from there. We get, I've got mine from Zazzle. We have like, oh, here's my newest ones. When I got my title, I changed them. So now they're just all pink and then it has the stick your nose in my business on the back. But before that, I had these. Again, I got these on Zazzle, little black, with the same stick your nose in my business. So I kind of like the pink. And then Dwayne has these that we got from Vistaprint. And it's just real basic, one-sided, a lot less expensive. But there's tons of...
Is there more?
No, that's it. I'm just putting them back. So there's lots of ways that they can do their business cards. I think it's important to have business cards, especially if you're going to give out samples. You know, but again, if they're out and about and they want to give somebody a business card, there's nothing wrong with saying, you know, give me your information and I will be happy to send you some information. So that way they have the information as well. So talk to them about a separate checking account. You know, I believe that if you're going to treat this like a business, do customers use business cards? Do customers use business cards? Well, it depends on who your customers are, I guess. A lot of my customers do. I have customers that are in businesses for themselves. I know there's going to be a lot of single moms that won't have business cards, and that's understandable. But try to get their information. Try to get their cell phone number or their email address or something. If they don't have a business card, just jot down their information. Nicole. Yay! Friday. Awesome. Well, we're excited to have you. As far as replying back, yeah, just get their cell phone number and their email address or however it is that you can get information to them if they don't have a business card. Yeah, that's, you know, for sure. But anyway, back to the checking account. I recommend that you encourage people to get a separate checking account when they first get started in the business, unless they tell you that this is just a hobby. If this is just a hobby and they don't intend on this being a business, then don't go there with them necessarily. But if this is going to be a business, they should definitely treat it like a business. So separate things. Save every single receipt. Anything that has to do with Pink Zebra, save it. If you're driving somewhere and you happen to give out a sample, then you collect that mileage and you write it down that, you know, that was Pink Zebra related. So keep track of all that. I don't give any tax advice, and I recommend nobody does, because you don't want anybody to come back to you and go, but you said, have them talk to their tax person, their CPA or whatever. But as far as a checking account, I highly recommend that they separate it out, because what can happen is they get along, as they get into the business a little bit further, like, you know, we kind of set aside a certain dollar amount each month to spend on our business. Like this, you know, this month I'm going to spend this much on advertising or on sponsored ads or on, you know, I've got to buy more business cards or, you know, whatever it is. You know, so I want to keep that separated. So I recommend that for sure.
Well, that that way you're setting yourself a budget. This is
Yeah.
my business account. This is
Yeah,
where I write
absolutely.
all my expenses out of.
Yeah, and you're keeping it separate right from the get-go. I think that's important to do. So
And get a tax guy.
yeah, I mean, especially if you're going to make this a business.
Yeah, if this is going to be your business, get a tax guy.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it could be H&R Block, but I will tell you that if you find an independent, they tend to know some additional tricks of the trade of helping you out with your business. So, yeah, we highly recommend it because there are so many tax write-offs that I had no idea. None. I had no idea. So they can give you all the tips and tricks and stuff like that. But again, I would never start giving tax advice to people because the first time that you give somebody advice and they say, you know, well, but you told me or so-and-so, it's like, oh, no. Thank you. All of my uplines are amazing and you guys are amazing. All the questions are answering all the questions I have. Oh, good. Good. So yeah, I mean, those are just some of the basics to get people started that we kind of talked about. I recommend that if they got the new consultant manual with the kit, to read through it. If they didn't get it, then go to the back office. It's right there under resources, under consultant manual. Go to the new consultant link right there below it and just, you know, follow along. There's some videos in there. Now, I will say the videos in there, what?
Lacey, your tax person.
I got my
Relax,
tax assistant
Sprinkles.
today and brought her a catalog. That's awesome. Relax is a good one to give them, right? Yeah, that's absolutely. What was I going to say? I forget.
I'm sorry.
It was about no, it's okay. It was about the new consultant thing. When they go to that and a quick start, oh, now I forget. Darn it. Oh, well. Oh, the videos. I was talking about the videos. So, the videos, Julian Jones, love her, but she did those videos back in 2013. So some of them are a little, not necessarily outdated. I mean, they still apply. You know, I think that it's all still applies to the business. But, you know, maybe watch them and then, you know, kind of get an idea. Like one of them she does on, I think, how to do a party and stuff like that. I watched one of them today, and the first part I'm like, oh, wow, this is all still very, you know, it's all still very useful. And then as I got towards the end of it, I was like, oh okay, not so much. But anyway, they're still good videos, but at least have everybody read the information and find, you know, the other good thing about that is that they'll know where to go to find it when they need to answer some questions. So anyway, and then, okay, so there's even a 90-day plan back there. I did print this one out. Let's get it up here in the thing. Look at it in the middle. 90-day plan. So that you could print this out and, yeah, videos. Thank you, Kara. You can print this out and it kind of gives you on the left-hand side, you know, what your plan can be. But this doesn't have to be your plan. But then it's got your tracker on the right-hand side so that you can track your sales and your new team members and that sort of thing. So this is helpful, especially in your first 90 days. And with the quick start, this could be very helpful too. There is a mock PZ party. Okay, good. Well, I probably should watch some of those. I know there was a party in there that I had watched, but I thought it was a little bit, it was from like 2013, so I wasn't sure how up to date it still was. But, I mean, that's great. And a lot of times, you know, guys, you can Google or go to YouTube and type in Pink Zebra, and you can find videos there too. I mean, there's just so much stuff. In fact, I've got my first bucket party I posted a video on YouTube. So that's from like 2013 as well, but that's on there. Or not 13, 2011. Well, so those videos were updated in 2013 though, maybe they were updated in 2013. So then they're not as old. So anyway, so okay, and then of course you want to talk to them about how to place a party order. And again, ZebraNet has step-by-step how to place a party order. I mean, like he has screenshots now in there which is so helpful. It's been in there for a while, but I highly recommend having somebody watch that. And then if they still have some questions and you can't meet with them locally to kind of walk them through it, maybe do a Skype or a FaceTime with them, so that you can kind of see their screen and see what they're doing and be able to walk them through it. Because there's nothing worse than getting online and trying to figure something like that out and getting so confused and pushing the wrong button or closing it too early and not getting your hostess rewards and all that kind of stuff. You know, when I first started doing this, our website was different, our back office was different, and it was really hard doing parties. It was not user friendly at all, and there were so many times I messed up and I didn't really have an upline to go to, so because they weren't doing anything. So I'd have to go to Colby from time to time, but this one is a lot easier, and if they just kind of follow along and you know, go through those motions, then it should be okay. But again, you know, be there to help them however they need help. Let's see what else. I definitely love having new team members. On Facebook, we have a personally sponsored group, which is just people that we have personally sponsored into the company, and we keep it just that, mainly because there are new people on there, and we want to make sure that we're, you know, covering certain things with them, and every now and then we'll offer a little extra incentives and things like that. But then we have a team group page, which is fantastic, and you guys are also good at helping each other and responding and things like that when somebody has a question. So you know, invite all your people to those group pages. If you have somebody new join, Peeps or Building for Tomorrow, whichever one it is, Peeps more than likely, invite them to be on those group pages so that they, again, feel like they're a part of something and that they can connect with other people. I know a lot of times consultants tend to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Territorial, I guess. Like, you know, that's my team. Don't mess with my team. I don't want my team on there, whatever. That's fine. If you want to, you know, keep your team on your own page and just you be on that page, but just make sure you're communicating with them and that they feel like there's a sense of community so that they can get as much information as possible. I feel like the more people, the better. Regardless of if everybody's on the same teams or not, I feel like the more people that connect, the better it is. I feel like we're just a big family, and we all, it's funny, I'm really kind of surprised at how much people get excited about one another's successes in this company. I love that. I mean, that's one of my favorite things about it. So Kathleen says, I really appreciate Paisley's Peep allowing us to join. Yeah, absolutely. I'm thrilled that you guys are in there. So, you know, like I said, more the merrier, and everybody's so helpful, and we get a lot of good ideas, and so it's important to have those group pages, and feel free to invite your team members to be on those, because I think it's important that they feel a connection as well.
Yeah, a lot of people need that connection, and that way they feel like they're part of something and not just out by themselves.
Right. I can tell you, if I felt like I was out there by myself every day, it would be hard to stay motivated.
Yeah.
It would really be hard. It's the teams and the people, you guys, that really keep us excited and energized and wanting to keep, you know, striving and doing better and all of that. So does it count as a customer sales if you set up a new customer, but the shipping and billing address is my address because they prefer just picking it up from me instead? It absolutely, it still counts as a customer sales. Yes, absolutely. And I love the fact that you want to, you know, hand deliver or whatever. I think that's fantastic. So yes, absolutely, Larissa. Let's see, what else? Okay, so sometimes when you have a new consultant, they're not really sure about, you know, how to answer the questions, what is Pink Zebra? Well, we've even got these conversation strips in the back office under resources to help people out. So, like for example, you know, somebody says, cute, what's Pink Zebra? And the answer is, it's a home fragrance brand that allows you to personalize your fragrance. I mean, there's all these different questions and answers. So if you've got but it's true. But if you've got somebody who's not comfortable.
What is Pink Zebra? Hang on, let me get my notes.
No. That's not it.
Say,
No. Okay.
But I like
you're
that,
being
though.
a guy.
No, well, I mean, it's...
But this is good. This is for the person that needs a script. This is for the person. Remember when your niece joined, and she said the reason that she ended up being in Cutco, which is such a script-oriented company, but she liked it because it gave her the exact thing to say, and she literally sat in front of the customer and read what she needed to say.
Yeah.
Now, you know, and that's fine. If you want to read what it is, whatever works for you, that's what you should do. Get comfortable, though, with these little conversation strips if you're uncomfortable talking about it, or if you don't have that, 15-second elevator spiel. This is a great little help in the back office under resources. So guide your people there, too. Kara says, Peeps has been a great help to my team members since I live in a different city than most of my team. I know. And it's great for me personally, because there are some of you that can stay up, and I won't name any names, but no, I'm kidding. But there are some of you that can stay up all night long practically. And man, I mean, I'm in bed at, now at more like 10:30, but still I'm in bed. And I'm not up late at night, unless it's the 31st or the 30th and we're working on, trying to make sure somebody's promoting or whatever. But it's hard to stay up, and so I thoroughly appreciate the fact that you guys are up and answering questions for people on that page. I love it. Yeah, and you can create your own 30-second commercial, Lacey, absolutely. You can create whatever you're comfortable with. The key to this business, in my opinion, is you gotta love what you're doing. You've gotta love the products. You have to. Because if you don't love the products, it's going to come across that you don't. If you're negative about the products, it's going to come across that way. I always say that whatever you're saying out there, that's what people that say, well, I'm not a negative person, but, and then they go on with, well, that right there, you ended it with a but, and you just negated everything you just said. So be positive about it and love what you're doing and have fun with it. Because if you're not having fun with it, if it's a chore or, oh, I've got to do this and I've got to do that, well, then people are going to look at it like, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do what she's doing. You want to be having so much fun with it that people are like, well, hang on now, what exactly do what exactly do you do? Has anyone tried a TV commercial? Actually, there have been some consultants that have done...
they were on some talk show. Yeah,
there have been some that have done some talk shows. And I think if you go to YouTube and you maybe, Google that, there's a couple that have done those, and they've been really good at it. In fact, there was somebody who did it just recently, I think, that she did, she was interviewed or something. Mm. I know one of the girls on my front line about a year or two ago, she went to, it was something out at a park deal, I forget, but the radio co-host, the radio lady was there, and so what she did was she just put together a little basket of stuff, and she had her son take the lady the basket, and of course this...
You just can't wait on this.
She basically interviewed her after that. So anyway, I don't know if that answers your question, but hopefully a little bit it does. So, and then of course, as you get to know everything, you learn more about the Heroes charity, you learn more about fundraising and all the benefits. What?
Can we do commercials?
I don't see why not.
Like maybe radio
as long as you say you're an independent consultant or a independent representative, yeah.
In a billboard?
Yeah.
Signs on side
as
of the road?
long as it says independent consultant. Yeah, you just can't come across like you own the business. I mean, you own your business, but...
We should do that.
Mm-hmm.
A billboard.
Okay.
Like Ronnie and Kathy, the realtors?
Yeah.
Dwayne and Dana.
Okay. You look into that for me.
We can wear Texas shirts like Ronnie and Kathy do.
With the pink zebra logo on them?
Huh.
Yeah, there's a real estate team out here named Ronnie and Kathy, and everybody knows Ronnie and Kathy, even though we don't know who they are, but we know who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, the billboard.
That's awesome. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Chris Morisman. Yeah, that may be the one I was thinking of, has done the local. And in fact, if you Google or YouTube or maybe it's Google. I don't know if it's on YouTube. But anyway, the one about the wedding, the lady that is a consultant that did her wedding reception favors as the candle bar. That was on 4 Weddings, I think it's called. It was on 4 Weddings. And that's a great, in fact, if you do like a vendor event and you want to have like a rolling video going with your little iPad or something, you could have that on there with several other videos. Like I love the new Coffee Talk video that Andrea and Sam and Kelly did. I love that. So stuff like that, you could just have those rolling on there. I mean, and just watch, have people watch those. Because you know there's going to be people that come by a vendor event and just kind of look and they don't really want to stop, but they'll watch a video because they can watch that a little bit from afar. So anyway, who was that on 4 Weddings? I don't remember her name, but if you just Google 4 Weddings, Pink Zebra, it'll come up because it was a big deal and I'm sure it still is. So hopefully your screen is unfrozen, Kara. Hope, hope, hope. So TLC, yeah, it was TLC. The channel was TLC, yes, Kathleen. Thank you so much for that. Anyway, so just to finish up a little bit, it's already, oh yeah, we got 10 more minutes, but so we'll go ahead and kind of close it up. Y'all, let us know if you have any questions. But when we talk about connecting, encourage your team to connect, encourage them to reach out, encourage them to share with you why they joined the company. Find out what it is that drives them. Find out what their why is, what their what is it that drives them, and why do they want to do this, and you know, what is the bigger picture for them, so that way that if they do start to get discouraged or whatever, you can kind of remind them. So you know, I think that's real important. Make sure that they connect with your groups. Make sure that you as their sponsor are connecting with them. You know, connect them on live streams. Let me finish this thought and then I'll read that. Company webinars, you know, Colby does the monthly webinars, and he does a new consultant training, which is all in the back office. Tell them about the rallies. They'll see it posted probably, but tell them about it anyway and how they don't want to miss it. I mean, I think rallies give so much. In fact, I know for a fact that since the company started doing rallies, we have had more people that have stuck it out with the company and not just given up so quickly because they attend the rallies. And there have been friendships formed. There has been so much more of a it's like the glue kind of that holds it all together. And we're getting new information and it's just fantastic. So encourage them to go to rallies. If they can go to reunion, it will change their business. Reunions are the best. That's all I have to say about that.
Reunions also.
Reunions are just amazing.
And have local parties. Have local get-togethers with other Pink Zebra people.
That's
just
a really good
hang
point.
out and
and you
get
know
a little
what?
feedback from them. And
if you don't have a group yet in your town, you know, that's a really good reason to try to have do events and do parties and do open houses.
And I always like to have a friend join. Mm-hmm. Then we have someone to do it with.
Yeah, especially if you're a Lone Ranger.
You're pushing them and they're pushing you, and you're helping each other.
And you can have some fun with it.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't I wouldn't do this without you, that's for sure.
Thank you. I know, when we started doing this, actually, Liz joined in October. I joined in September back in 2011, and when Liz joined, she and I just immediately started doing stuff together. And we weren't even, you know, we weren't friends before, but we connected, and because we did stuff together, we really enjoyed it. And then now, you know, when Dwayne joined, almost a year later, you know, we started
there.
You were still helping. You were definitely there.
I didn't join it.
Right. But we just did stuff together. So, you know, yeah, definitely. If you can get somebody that you're friends with, if you have friends in town or whatever. If not, start having open houses or go to networking groups and make some friends. If you're new to an area, just make friends. And yeah, it does help when you have people in your group. And you know, our very first local meeting, there were 3 of us. It was me and Liz and Angela. You came, and Angela's ex came, and Liz brought her daughter, And it was, that's it. That's all we had. We met at a Mexican food restaurant in the back room. But I think it was Colby. Somebody had said, try to meet with them locally. Meet people face to face. It's all about that connection. And we did that. And we love meetings. And now what's great is that a lot of the team, they'll be like, are we having a meeting this month? They get excited about it. We're going to do a bowling meeting. This will be a first. I've rented some bowling lanes at the bowling alley, and so they can bring their families if they want. But, you can make it fun. We did a couple of times. We did the thing where you paint with the paint and wine and whatever. So, anyway, you can do all kinds of things like that. I could do company-sponsored events every month. I love connecting with everyone. You guys are my people, right? I love it too. Oh, wait, I missed a couple things. Okay, Kathleen said that's what I did at one of my events. I had my iPad hooked up onto a TV with a rolling video. That's cool. Awesome. Yeah, I love it. And I'm with you, Desiree. I could do them every month too, which is kind of why we do our local meetings as well, just to kind of keep it going, because I love it. I just love it. Brandy asks, what is an open house? No, it's not a garage sale setup. It's basically, I do open houses when I don't have a lot of parties on the books. I just have an open house at my home. And what I'll do is, it's kind of like a launch party. I'm just launching again and again and again. But what I'll do is I'll set it from like maybe 5 to 7 on a Thursday evening, or maybe like I've done 10 to noon on a Saturday morning, and I call it coffee and, what do we call it? Coffee and...
Muffins and
mimosas. That's what it was. That's right. Good job. You remember that. And then, come up with some cute name. We did a cookie exchange back in December. But it's basically where you're setting up your pink zebra.
Exchange. Yeah. Where was that? I must have been out of town.
I don't know. Yeah, because you weren't here, were you? But basically what you're doing is you're setting up your, like, for example, we have shades all over the house. So I just turn them all on with a couple of different fragrances going, and I have all of the smell sniffers set out on a table, and I have catalogs and order forms, and I'll have some soaks on another table and something else. And I just am inviting people to come in. We visit, we drink a glass of wine, or if it's a Saturday morning, we have some coffee and a muffin, or a mimosa and a muffin. And you just are inviting them in, and you're showing them the products, and you're showing them, and you're basically just spending some time visiting. It's also really cool if you have another friend in the direct sales business, or maybe a craft friend that sells wreaths or something like that, and have them come over too and invite their friends. So then you're kind of getting their clientele, they're getting yours, and then you're doing something together, and you've got more people coming. So we do that all the time. In fact, we've got one coming up here. So that's a big deal, and it helps when there's not a party booked for that week or whatnot. So. And you may only get a couple of people, but you may get, we've had some with, 15, 16, 20. We've had some really good ones. One time we had a makeup lady come, and not direct sales, she did MAC, or no, I forget what the name of it is, and I use some of her stuff. But anyway, and then a jewelry person, and so that's what an open house is. I hope that answered your question. I do home party open houses, take the pressure off the guests so they don't have to commit to 2 hours. Yeah, that's another thing. I have friends that they don't necessarily want to commit to that. So I'll do the same thing. I'll say, well, I'll just have it at my house if you'll invite them. Invite people. So, I've already got everything set up. And I don't necessarily change my shade setup. I keep everything kind of where it's at, and I just show people as they're coming in, well, that's a pink zebra shade, and that's pink zebra, and that's pink zebra. So, anyway, it's fun. Anyway, anybody else have any questions? It's almost 7 o'clock, and I don't want to run past. I want to be respectful of y'all's time. Hopefully, it was a little bit helpful, and if you're a new consultant, don't get overwhelmed. Just try to follow along in the back office and talk to people in the groups and connect with your sponsor. Just have fun with it. I live in such a remote area and no one wants to come so far. Yeah, I know that's a problem for some people, Wendy, for sure. Another option for you might be to go into a town Find a town that maybe has a little wine bar, or I don't know if they've got that kind of stuff, but we've done up the, well, it's a couple of miles. Where is that wine bar on over there on that street by that? Anyway, it's not important, but there's a little wine bar, and they have like a little room, and they let us set up in there, and so you know, you can find something like that. I know Gypsy has set up in bowling alleys before. And, I mean, you know, they could certainly use the good smells in there. So you can find places to set up for sure. And if not, then find events that you can go to. You know, there's so many different ways we can work our business. So just find whatever works for you and just have fun with it. So you are very welcome, Kathleen. I appreciate all of you guys. If you have any questions that we didn't cover, or if there's any other tips that you want to add, maybe add them to the Facebook post or something like that. Love you too, Desiree. Thank you, thank you. We appreciate you guys. Just have fun and have a fabulous week.
Sprinkle on.
Sprinkle on.
Next week.
Yeah, we'll do next.